I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. This is Danny G, sitting alongside Rio and Jimmer today.
What are you doing over there, Jimmer? Showing him how big your wiener is?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Hey, it's all about me, baby. She keeps coming back for more. I don't know why.
I almost died. I took a breath or something during that
that
shot.
10 high?
Yeah, so some went in my lungs. That was
No,
great.
that wasn't a breath, brother. That was just the 10 high.
Yeah,
Just
well,
hitting your soul.
It was taking your breath away.
Damn.
Yeah.
That shit was tough. Well, those of you watching on YouTube, check out the gear. We finally got these goddamn hats in.
Yes.
We've been waiting over 2 months.
Worth the wait, though.
Worth the
Right?
wait.
I
These
love
are
it.
beautiful.
Yeah, I feel good. Feel comfortable. I feel like they're going to be pretty damn sweet during the summer. Like, they don't feel like they're going to be... Because me and you definitely are sweaters, right?
Yep.
This feels like it has a little bit of air
Yeah.
to it. I don't know about what yours is, but fucking, I dig it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
We're missing a hat still.
Yeah.
We do know
we
that.
bought 50 and they sent us 49.
49 plus 1.
Believe we counted that shit.
Yeah. But either way.
They took
Start
one.
filling in
Like
orders,
pick of the
ladies and
litter,
gents.
right?
Yeah.
Pick of the litter. They
Grab the runt.
took one.
Hey, they just like the brand, baby.
Hell yeah.
it is.
can't blame
They're
them,
like,
right?
They're like, you know what?
Shit.
And of
Give
course
some
it
of
was
that.
that white one.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
So this is the one I picked, and I probably made a mistake. Not because it doesn't look sharp, because it does. But me and white don't mix.
Yeah.
I'll spill on it. Like, I eat down here, food will end up up here.
That's how it goes. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just end up sweating when I
Yep.
don't think I'm sweating.
And then it'll be
staining
like
it or
yellow?
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or that's from you passed out in a tub and I was by you.
That is a high possibility,
could
I
be.
hear. So I need to be careful of...
My wife asked me about that. She's like, "So what's this about sleeping in a tub?" And I was like, "Listen to the episode, baby.
Yeah.
Check it out. You got to know." But for those of you that want to know about these hats, these are pretty sweet. They're leather patches on these bad boys. So we've got some white camo, solid black, a light normal camo, and a kind of a dark camo color is what we were able to get. With the whole supply chain issues and things like that, we were a little bit limited, but these are pretty banging hats.
Yeah.
So check them out. We'll put some on socials and let you guys know. Definitely don't want to miss out. But yeah, other than that, tonight we got some fun shit going on. Give us some news and notes, Gemma.
Yeah. So, well, I was going to start with... I changed my mind. I'll wait until the end of my news. How about that? All right, Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer will not be criminally charged by the L.A. prosecutors. The L.A. County District Attorney's Office said Tuesday. The ruling concludes a 5-month review of the case, which stems from sexual assault allegations made against Bauer by a San Diego woman who sought a restraining order against him in June.
Yeah. They're like, are you serious? You waited this long to do this? You know, that he was obviously on a loaded lineup and pitching staff for the Dodgers and couldn't pitch in the postseason. And they made that run, come up short, right? Atlanta had a great season, a magical season, and but they needed his help. And
Tremendously.
yeah, it's crazy.
So whatever the scenario is that broke down, we talked about this way back when, right? And however this broke down, whether it was consensual rough sex, and then it turned into she agreed to rougher than what, or, she didn't agree to as rough as what he got.
Yeah.
Don't know. But evidently they must have found something where they decided they're not going to pursue him. So it hurt the Dodgers at the time. This also goes back to me telling Malachi, like, dude, you got to look out for yourself and be careful no matter what. I'm not saying that he was right or wrong because I don't know. None of us were there, obviously. So
Yeah.
we don't know that. But obviously there had to have been something where they're like, it's questionable enough for them to like, we're not gonna charge him. So
Yeah, there were some the text messages back and forth were weird that come out because obviously she was wanting something like that, but I don't know. I guess maybe in the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Like really.
Yeah, like it got
don't know.
like almost a little Jeffrey Dahmer like I wasn't agreeing to die for you to
Just
get
almost
off, for
die.
you to get off, right? I want to be an inch from life, not death.
Right. Danny likes some rough sex over there.
What
He
is
likes,
that?
he likes to get punched. Punch me in the
Choke,
kidney.
punch.
You got big egg roll.
I don't want to die. I just want to feel like it.
I don't want to die. I just want to feel like it. Okay, all right. She's not wrong. Both sides in the United States versus Eric K trial that began Tuesday said jurors will see a number of major league players who received opioids from K in the Los Angeles Angels home clubhouse. K, the team's former communications director, faces felony charges of distributing opioids and causing the opioid-related death of Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs in 2019 while on a road trip to Texas.
Yeah, I remember that. Stuff finally coming out. And here's the thing. Players are hurting, right? I don't think that they're just, all of a sudden I'm addicted. They're literally taking these pain medications for pain.
The thing that's illegal, because
Right, the
we've
thing
talked
that
about
is legal.
because marijuana is
Exactly,
not,
and that's
right?
what I'm leading up
Yep.
to. Why are we going after all these drugs and these guys feel like they need to take these drugs that you can get really addicted to, but there's that fine line of ultimately we have a death, right? You can go with something natural and get almost the same. I don't know from experience, but from what those guys are talking about, like they get the same, if not better, results from from the pain management of taking that.
From more natural.
Exactly, a natural thing instead of these drugs that are now killing people, motherfuckers,
Nope.
Yeah, and you feel for the doctors in some cases, like, right? Because they're basically told, like, do what it takes to get them on the field so they can play, right?
Yeah.
So, right or wrong, I don't know his situation. I don't know much about him. But, there's a lot of times when they're like, all right, I'm going to give you what you need. You do what you got to do. Get out there. And then they fuck up, right? That happens more often than not. So, it's tough. Especially when you're limited with options.
I think regardless, even with the team, like the teams like saying, hey, we want this guy out there, blah, 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 blah. It looks pretty damn clear cut. I understand he's going through court processes for it, but it looks pretty damn clear that he was pretty goddamn loose with that script book there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Loose is like
Like
not capped at all.
right. Like, I stubbed my toe, Doc. What's up? Gonna need like 6 months worth of some opioids. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So that's different.
It seems like he was pretty damn loose with this. So it isn't, and especially with former players coming into to basically to talk about him, saying that they did get shit from him, and probably outside of just the playing and getting your medical.
Yeah, I could see it coming out that he's actually making change and pocketing a bunch of stuff off of and abusing it that way as well.
Yep. The NFL will host the regular season game in Munich, Germany next season for the first time in its history. The league announced Wednesday. There will be 5 NFL regular season games played internationally next season, with 3 games in London, 1 game in Mexico, and 1 game in Germany. I do believe, I didn't put it in here, but I do believe I read that it is a 4-year deal that they'll be doing. 4 or 5-year deal that they'll be playing a game in Germany.
Man,
That's crazy.
Maybe our boy from Hesse, Germany.
Yes, Germany can get him a
Go ahead
ticket.
and,
I read something the other day. That was just crazy. It was like Kyle Pitts in the Pro Bowl. It was his first touchdown he caught on American soil because he's caught them all over in London or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? It's crazy. That'll be cool. They're probably pretty big into their actual football, as in soccer.
Yeah.
So
Sprechen Sie dick, baby.
I don't know if they're into that,
Bitches.
but it is 2022, so they can be into anything they want.
The only thing I'm not down for in Germany and London, for that matter, is that goddamn start time. 9:30 in the morning. So you better not have had a rough Saturday night, and then you're playing fantasy football, and you forget to put either somebody in or they are in and they walk out while you're sleeping.
Okay.
And
I'm glad you went the fantasy football route because I'm like, nobody wants to see the fucking Jaguars play.
No, I got you. They always agree.
Exactly.
In fact, in that same article, Jaguars have still signed on for next season to be. I'm like, of course they have.
Of
Because they
course.
just want some revenue, right?
Yeah.
But that being said, I was thinking purely fantasy. Like someone goes out, rolls their ankle just in warm-ups or something like that. You're not awake yet or something, and you get hosed because it was that early.
Mm-hmm.
I know coming on off or doing third shift, I usually set an alarm for about 11 o'clock on fantasy days because the in and outs are announced by then.
Especially last minute, yeah.
Yep. And then I adjusted off that 9:30. Jeez.
Yeah.
That's the only negative I have with it. Other than that,
Well,
I think it'd be cool.
I don't know. Like, the other thing that I hope they consider is the travel for the players. That's so much international travel that they have to do. So it's way worse than a LA to New York game even, right? So when you consider the travel time to get back, and they're not going to get the true recoup time that other teams are, it's almost like you're playing a, Thursday night game, essentially, in a lot of cases, right?
Exactly, and I'm not sure how this COVID thing's going to go down either when it comes to, going overseas and back to if they have to.
Gray area.
I just mean like the quarantine, if that stuff goes into it, and
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's there's a lot of moving parts in it. Ultimately, I think it's cool, but yes,
It's good for the league,
players,
right?
yeah. There could be a shot with something like that, and let's say it kind of takes off in Germany too. Like London, they filled their stadium for that game.
As long as they don't do the Pro Bowl over there, it'll be fine, right?
Right. Don't show them that shit. Well, actually, they may be down for it. Like, so that's how soccer players get down. Some of that barely touch, fall over, crappie flop and shit. La flop, if you want to call it that.
Sorry, my listeners, I'm sorry. I know you soccer players go hard in the paint, so.
No.
You football
You
player.
better stop it.
My buddy,
But my point
is misinformed.
what I'm getting at is with two of them over there, we're talking over east, maybe we're getting closer to another NFL franchise being parked over there.
Maybe.
Maybe the Jaguars uplift themselves and just become London or Germany, whatever the scenario. But I'm just saying,
yeah,
the more and more you do over there, it would be really, really tough. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not.
They want to do it, though.
Yeah.
They want it.
So they would have to do, I would assume they'd do like 3 games here, as in 3 games at home, 3 games on the road. So you're not just going bang, 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 back and forth. But
yeah,
it'd still be heavy travel, heavy cost.
I don't think it happens simply because the players union won't want it to happen.
No.
You say like that, you're almost a month away from
Would they not?
You wouldn't. You're a month away from your family, and no.
You got to think about the money, man.
Yeah.
The international money. That's
the
going to
international
add so much.
money. So
Yeah.
you put your face out there, and it's harder to brand yourself in the NFL, especially outside of the United States. You go over there, you know what I mean? You get an international brand that way. That's the reason why LeBron and all these guys don't talk anything about China, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're worried about that international money not coming in.
But that international money only helps the few stars there are.
Right. I'm not saying the rest wouldn't.
Right. That's
wouldn't be opposed to it. I agree with you. It's just.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. This one I just got. Commanders defensive tackle. I said that correctly. Commanders.
I did see this.
Defensive tackle. Jonathan Allen apologized for a now deleted tweet where he said Adolf Hitler was one of 3 people with whom he'd like to have dinner. He told his Twitter followers early Wednesday to ask me anything. One of them asked which 3 people, dead or alive, would he want to have dinner, have at the dinner table. He responded, Granddad, Hitler, and Michael Jackson. When asked to explain Hitler, he said in a since deleted tweet, he's a military genius and I love military tactics, but honestly I would want to pick his brain as to why he did what he did. I'm also assuming that the people I've chosen have to answer all my questions honestly.
Yeah. So
really was not a military genius.
No, he was one of the best speakers of all time. He mind warped an entire country.
Yeah.
So if you want to say that, I don't know about military genius,
yeah.
but I think he's a little misinformed on that.
regardless of the reason, wouldn't he be one of the guys you want to talk to and figure out? He
what the
started.
hell was your thought process
he started
here?
one of the biggest war in the history of the world, right?
And
as far as that's concerned.
what the biggest genocide of all
Genocide
time?
for sure,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Right?
What was his thinking behind that?
Yeah.
Right. So when I'm reading this, and I'm even reading his response too, you know, when he was answering on Twitter, like why, I'm like, what's wrong with what he's saying? I guess you know, unless there's something else that wasn't put on here in the article that I saw. I was like, so he wants to know why the hell the dude did what he did.
Right. What was his ultimate goal, you know, and what was he thinking?
What was your
I get that.
reasoning?
It's
Like,
bad timing. It's just after Whoopi did her dumb shit, right?
Yeah.
Bad timing, I think, right? But it's like you can't back off that stuff if you want to keep being honest about things. You got to just come out and be like, here's why. And his logic isn't bad. There's nothing wrong with it. So.
Well, I was going to say not bad. I'm going to go out there and say it's actually a pretty decent to good logic. Like, that's the reason why you'd want to sit down with someone. You either want to know because you're a fanboy of something, because you want to know everything that was going through their head, what all they went through, life experiences, blah, 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 or someone sadistic and sick like that, and like why you were the way you were.
Ask those same people who are offended, why the hell are you watching killer documentaries on Netflix?
Exactly.
You
Right.
know?
Yeah,
Exactly. You want to know that, you want to get inside the mind of a psycho is what it comes down to, right?
Yep.
So I didn't see anything wrong with it, but evidently, like today's typical day and
people
age,
get so offended over.
get offended over the smallest fucking. I mean, this isn't small, but I'm just saying. But I don't think it's that big. I just think it was a legit answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm offended
He
over
did-
something of yours that's so small.
My beehole.
I know where you work, so that is definitely a lie. You're misinformed.
blown out biscuit, baby. Blown out biscuit.
B.O.B. baby.
Yeah.
Got it for you.
Commissioner Roger Goodell says NFL fell short in hiring of minority head coaches. So they're at 5.
Yeah.
They fired 2 but hired 2. So they didn't gain anything this offseason. I heard it.
Wait, they're at 5?
Yeah. Minority coaches. I didn't say black
Oh,
coaches.
yeah.
Minority
Okay,
coaches.
touche. Yep.
So I heard today.
Did you see the statistic of 12%
12%. Go ahead.
African Americans? So they say 12% of the population is like African Americans or something like that. So that then the math coming out with like those 5 would almost be close to what it is in real life, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's an interesting way of looking at it. But I think you still go back to, are we hiring the right people for the job, regardless of skin color?
Mm.
If they think it's the right person, I don't care if black, white, Mexican, Asian, a female. I don't get if it's the right person. If you think it's the right person, hire that person.
Yeah. We've all been very clear about that part in that aspect. Evidently, there's 12 GMs that are black. So I heard an interesting perspective today, and that's what I was going to lead off with, but I was waited until we kind of got down here a little bit.
Yeah.
So on Mad Dog Sports Radio on Sirius XM, Rich Eisen and Arthur Blank, 2 different times, 2 different interviews were on today while I took my son to baseball, and I got to listen to their opinions and stuff. And Arthur Blank's was very interesting, obviously. Arthur Blank is pretty well respected and loved. Never up to this day has been associated with anything anywhere near racist. So he answered some weird questions. Mad Dog was kind of going at him a little bit, They're friends, but he didn't lighten up. Let's put it that way.
Good.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked, why? Like, why are we, like, do we, like, for instance, he was, like, bringing up, like, how come there isn't this many? And he's like, honestly, I do feel embarrassed that it hasn't, even though they did pick a white coach themselves just last year, Arthur Smith. But what he brought into a fact, and I didn't think about this, was that where's the NFL going, scheme-wise? Offensive?
Yeah.
Heavily offensive?
Oh, yeah.
So, a lot of the defensive coordinators are black. I'm not saying that they are employed like that. I'm just saying a lot of the black coaches that are assistant coaches are defensive coordinators. the offensive grouping, and that's where he says he believes they're failing. They're failing in bringing them up and having them learn and put together a better resume. In other words, and got me thinking. I'm like, well, you're not wrong. Some of them are. He thinks that every person is picking the best hire. He believes that in his heart of hearts. He's like, don't lie to me. That's what that. He's like, you don't have to name a name, but at any point you've never seen any version of an owner saying that or acting like they wouldn't want the face of their franchise to be a black man. And he's like, honestly, I've never seen that. He's like, I would tell you the truth, and I wouldn't give you the name, of course, but I would tell you the truth if that was the case. He's like, I honestly believe that people will hire the best available. And he even so it brought to the next question was Eric Bieniemy. He's like, well, he's an offensive mind. And Arthur Blank's team interviewed him twice last year. So he's like, well, does he interview bad or what's up? What's going on here?
Great question.
Yeah. And he said, no, we told him he interviewed just fine. He said just fine, though. So it's almost like he's trying to be nice, that you're not trying to beat somebody down. Yeah. That's how I took that, but he didn't. He's like, we told him, we interviewed just fine, and we like everything that he had stacked up, like for a resume and all that, and the high-powered offense. Andy Reid sent a letter of recommendation. The whole works, backs him. He's like, we didn't talk to Patrick Mahomes, but we've seen and heard nothing but positive stuff come out of Patrick's mouth about him. He's like, well, ultimately, we just literally stacked up what they do, what they've done, and where we want the team to go. Mm-hmm. He's like, that's exactly how we did it. It had nothing. And now, take that for what you want. If you believe he's lying, fine. But he's like, we literally picked the guy. And by the way, their GM is one of the black GMs in the league, by the way. But he's like, we literally stacked him up. It wasn't exactly easy, but and Eric being a black man, we did even have that in the consideration. But the resumes were a little bit higher, and in the offense that Arthur Smith actually ran is what we were looking for. So, the Rich Eisen one I'll touch on a little bit later. That was more to do with some ESPN, because if you guys remember, he started back there way back when, and a little bit about Deion Sanders too.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting because it brings us back to something Danny said a while ago. Is a lot of times you watch Kansas City and they have a bunch of broken plays, but they go for lots of yardage, right? Tyreek Hill gets busted loose, or Patrick is scrambling around and Tyreek finds an open spot in the field and he whips over there and everybody's like, oh, that's a cool play. Well, yeah, but that wasn't the play. It's a broken play that just they play at that point. It goes backyard football.
They're athletes.
And just being an athlete,
right?
Exactly. Yeah. And they actually have a lot of those plays. And
even the Travis Kelce catch.
Yeah.
Right? He was like, I'm going there. That's where I'm going to be.
Yeah,
and so
I'm running to open spot in the field. I'm not running the route.
It had nothing to do with the play call, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
So that, you look at that and be like, oh, they're a high-powered offense. Yes and no. There's a lot of, backyards, playground football that gets thrown in once things don't go right in that Chiefs offense.
Their high-powered offense works great with, like, the running scheme side of it and the passing to the running backs. The rest of it in a Patrick Mahomes led offense is a lot of backyardish football, right?
Yeah.
So one thing I've been itching to talk about when it comes to this is, and I keep forgetting to talk about, is name me one. And I'll give you one that if you want to make the argument, I'll give you the one that you can make an argument with. And that's Dougie P. Name a coordinator, an offensive coordinator, that has came from Andy Reid that has succeeded in the NFL as a head coach.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you want to say Matt Nagy, the one season, but that was a Vic Fangio-led defense.
Yeah.
That was pretty damn legendary.
Doesn't really count, yeah.
Right. And Khalil Mack was balling out that year, Besides that, you try to flick any one of them up. I couldn't even get Eric to admit or to bring one up.
Yeah.
Because he knows all their coaches that come through, and he can't name one that they don't succeed. Doug Peterson lost his job after winning the Super Bowl, so something isn't quite right there.
Yeah.
We already know about our heartbreak and our dumbass decision as Viking fans or Vikings. Brad Childress
Yeah.
didn't call offensive plays. That panned out well. He tried bringing that up. I'm like, that was Brett Favre, Holmes. And Brett Favre literally checked out of every single play at the line.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Right? He was the coach on the field. We had, like I said, we had Matt Nagy. There's another one that he brought up too, and he's like, no, you're actually right. He's like, he's had defensive coordinators that have went on and done decent stuff.
He's actually had a couple different guys that have gone on that are, they weren't necessarily offensive guys, but just on the coaching staff.
Right. I'm talking about just offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Just offensive coordinator.
I was saying I didn't realize Sean McDermott was on there, on his staff. John Harbaugh, of course, like I said, different variations, not offensive coach.
Yeah, but for some reason,
Ron Rivera, I didn't realize Ron Rivera was with them too.
But for some reason, his offensive coordinators don't have success for the most part after leaving there. If you want to count Dougie P, I get it. Throw that one in me. That's fine.
That was all big dick Nick, baby.
Right. That was a special weird year that it all right.
They were deep too. They were
very deep,
man, especially
very
in
deep.
defense.
Yep. And what I'm trying to get at, that could be hurt and be enemy. He could be completely different. But what it comes back to that has been proven over the years is that Andy Reid calls the plays. He does. Even if you see the camera pan over to Bieniemy, he might be saying something into the mic, but when it pans right over to Andy Reid, what is Andy Reid talking into the mic, looking at his big old sheet of plays for? He's calling the plays, ladies and gentlemen. So you're not even getting the play caller. You're getting, and then the play isn't even the play that was called, because alluding to what you're saying, they're playing backyard football sometimes where that play looks sexy. Well, no, it's a broken down play, and they have special athletes that took care of business. I'm sorry. I mean, that's the reason why I said Eric Bieniemy may be better off moving on to another team as an offensive coordinator and showing what he can do outside of that.
Yeah, and the problem with Eric, too, is when you look at that team, who do they actually use on offense? We've beat this up a million times. Who do they use, Jimmer?
Are you talking about
besides Patrick?
Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill?
That's it, right?
Yeah.
There's no number 2 receiver they use, right? That, even Clyde, like, they don't use him enough, right?
They don't.
So it's like, how much of
Their
that?
run game isn't even,
It's
just
not,
in general. It doesn't matter who it is.
Right.
But yeah.
And he's a bang-em-up running back, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So with him, there's that. Here's the 2 things that I think about when it comes to this, right? First of all, the teams that you're going to, if you're in the minority sector, right, it's probably shitty teams, shitty ownership. You're going to get 2 years of a chance with the players that you have, which is not a good situation to be in. Think about the Jets, right? Think about the Texans, the Jags, all that, right? So it's like you're not even going to get a good chance to show what you can do.
Right, because they're trying to lose anyway, right?
Right.
They want draft picks.
Right, Miami, we think about that,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But the bigger thing that I think about, so I've talked about, I worked for a really big corporation when I lived down in Des Moines, right? And I knew a lot of the people that I interviewed for different positions. And I knew what they were capable of. But the bottom line is, when you work for a corporation like that, they have to be able to interview well and check the boxes that you need them to check for, when you think about HR and stuff like that. And even if they are fucking great employees, if they don't check those boxes, you can't bring them up to the next step. You can't. So it's like, okay, let's act like everything aside. How do we get people to know what they need to be interviewed for different positions?
So
I think that's a big part of it.
So can I disagree with you for half a second?
Yeah, Stefan.
So what I mean is, you're, and this isn't you. This is obviously the corporation's choice, right? Is what you're getting at?
Yeah.
You can pick one of those, but don't. But the problem is, where we can relate back to it in this is, if you took someone above that person, even if you believe they could have been great, but they didn't check the boxes. What I'm getting at is, the person you took doesn't, just because they check all the boxes doesn't mean they're going to be any better.
Yeah,
And
my
it might not be
work's hired people and higher up positions that shouldn't be there, and they're horrible at it.
Downright horrible. But that just shows that the system is kind of flawed too.
The system is
right?
broken,
Yeah.
right?
Instead of like, hey,
Totally
this
agree.
one right Ricks. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
you should be able to
Yep.
know. You should be able to look at them and be like, I fucking worked with this person for 5 years.
I know
what
they
they can
handle.
do.
Yep.
We can bring them on. But you're kind of handcuffed, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
you can't do that. That's the biggest thing with that. So how do we do? Rio talked about percentages, right? So what is it in the NFL? 85% of the NFL players are minorities, probably, right? In that range, 85, 90. They're not coaches. They're not in the upper ranks of different teams and stuff like that. So how do we help them get to that spot? That's A, right? But then B, you also have to think about these different teams, especially this past year, that have hired coaches, GMs, things like that. We've talked about it half dozen times. They're playing chess, not checkers, right? Denver, that's the reason they brought in their guys. The Raiders, that's the reason they brought in their guys. It's not sometimes it's not about you because you didn't get the job. Sometimes it's about why we brought in this specific person. So there's a few different ways to look at it. That's my point. But but Bieniemy, as far as I'm concerned, it's like you can look at him and you can pick him apart just from our perspective, right?
Yeah.
You can say, "Why, God, I don't know if I have the faith in him because what I've seen,
Yeah.
because we know about that team." So.
Yeah. I think I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to put that out there. If it, in his best interest, if he wants a legitimate shot at getting an NFL job with absolutely no rebut whatsoever, your contract is up. Go find another offensive coordinator position then and show that you can do it and that you're the leader of it.
Yeah. Yep.
Separate yourself from it. Show that you can do it outside of it on another offensive coordinator position. And then you do. There legitimately would be absolutely no debate then.
Yeah.
Right? At least not in mine. Byron Leftwich was calling the plays.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I would have no problem if I had to choose between those two guys, which I wouldn't mind Leftwich. I just don't think he's quite ready. But if I had to choose between those two guys, it's purely going to be Leftwich.
Yeah.
And Leftwich hasn't even been doing it as long as Bieniemy.
Because he has been doing it.
Because I know he has
Yeah.
been doing it. I know he did it with two different quarterbacks and like you went from Jameis Winston to Tom Brady, and you still produced. You were calling plays when you were with Arizona also.
Yep.
So this isn't. There's more trust there, I guess. If I had to stack those two up right now, it would clearly be Byron Leftwich.
Yeah.
So, Russell Westbrook is not happy about his benching, saying that he's earned the right to play alongside Bron and AD in crunch time. After this is being said after getting pulled in a loss to the Bucks. Do you agree?
I think this goes higher than did you earn the right just because you whatever it is. I scored 20 points, yeah, but you were, just a horrible shooting percentage, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of free throws or whatever the case. There's a lot that goes into it. You got to mesh well and everything, and there's a lot of pressure from the upper front office on the coach. So he's feeling some of that, unfortunately. And it's all about finding the right, combination players to mesh together. And like I think we've talked about, he's not the right person for the team. He needs to go somewhere that he's got the ball all the time and is driving, kicking, or whatever he's doing and facilitating the whole offense. And he can't do that there. So I think it's going to be a train wreck until he gets traded or whatever, cut. I don't know.
Right, and they don't play D.
Yeah.
And they've only got
And he doesn't,
2
especially.
days to trade his ass, right? I think,
Yeah.
Right? One day?
No. I'm not
Right?
correcting you on that. I'm not correcting you on anything, but the very next thing I'm about to read you.
Oh, okay. So they've got a short window to trade his ass, right?
Yeah.
When he said, I've earned the right, he's not talking about this season. He fucking sure as hell is not talking about this season.
No,
he's
not
talking
at
about what
all.
he's done in the past.
His MVP.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's talking about that.
Triple
Listen,
dubs.
there's probably, if we were to count on maybe 5 guys in the NBA that have earned the right that no matter how bad they play in a game, you have to keep them in the last, 3 to 5 minutes, right?
Especially if it's within range.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
And he is not one of them. And he was not playing good.
No.
I think he had 4 really bad turnovers.
He might have been one of them a few years back and up until, early on in his career and then up until a
like
few
just
years back.
before OKC or something, right? Or before, sorry, Houston.
I would say about
Before
OKC.
Houston, yeah.
OKC
Yeah.
throughout his whole OKC career basically earned the right the
Yeah.
whole time.
Exactly. But
Yep.
you have not done that here. He's shooting 43%
Overall.
field goal percentage on the season, right? His free throws are like under 70. They're like 65
Jeez.
for him. So he's not, and he's turning the ball over. He leads the league in turnovers, right? So it's like, bro, no, dude. We're playing this team, and they're obviously a great team. They just won the chip. Like,
it isn't a wild man. It isn't a wild man fucking offense. This isn't high school where you can just go crazy. Now, I'm not trying to beat up on the guy because I actually like Russell. I love the way he plays in the sense of playing hard every single play.
yeah.
Now, I wish he played defense, like got in front of him a little more, but he still plays hard basically every single play.
We've talked about that,
Yeah.
and that's all great.
And that is
we
great.
all, I think, love watching him play
Yep.
because he does play hard.
Yep.
But he turns the ball over with
goes-
dumbass plays way too often,
Right,
man.
Right, with
At
reckless
the worst
abandon.
timing.
Abandon.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the thing. So I'm with you on the no, dude. You haven't earned that this year. It's a different year for
No.
you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Technically, AD probably hasn't even earned that, and he's the franchise. So, you said maybe 5, 6 players, whatever the scenario, but AD might not even be that. The only reason why he would be in the final crunch time is because he's literally the franchise. You know?
He is, yeah.
He's the future. I mean, LeBron's going to be done here soon in the next few years. Dude's still relatively young, so that's the franchise. That's the only reason why he's here, that right? But
Yep.
So, this gets into my next one. Bleacher Report is reporting that a Westbrook for John Wall trade could seriously happen if Braun believes Wall is a better fit in LA.
Do it.
We talked about this.
Do it.
And
What do you
Walls
think,
with
Ray?
the Rockets.
Yeah.
But they won't play him. Well,
He
he
wants to be a starter.
Yeah, they would play him, but he'd have to come off the bench, minuscule minutes, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Money's similar, right?
Yeah.
It's probably not the same, but it's pretty close.
Oh,
so-
I think it's pretty damn relatively
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
but what are they going to do with Russ? Because if they weren't playing John Wall for the same reason, you're going to go give Russell those minutes that you wouldn't give John Wall in the first place?
I'm not worried about him. I'm saying if you're the
I think they
Lakers, you
would.
do it.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Absolutely.
Then
in
he
a
moves
heartbeat.
back. How crazy
Yeah,
would
you
that
move
be?
back to the Rockets?
No, I think they do. I think, I can see part of the reason why they want him to scale him back is because look at his injury history. You know, okay, you've been playing all these minutes and getting hurt. How many games, right? He's played 70 games in the last 3 years. Okay, so we want you to come off the bench on limited minutes. We can try to keep you more fresh.
Well, reportedly from the Rockets, that was not it. The Rockets are literally, they said, no, we want to give our young players
players.
the reins. Not even because of anything to do with his injury history. Not to scale it back. It's literally we want them and we want them to mesh together.
Yeah.
That's what came out of their mouth is what I'm saying. So,
Yeah.
but what? So all of a sudden you change that mindset when Russell comes, who's about the same. Actually, John Wall's younger.
Probably, yeah. That's
Yeah,
why.
he's for sure younger, right? 2
Yeah.
years, I think,
Yeah.
probably, right? Yeah.
I think the Lakers would be rolling the dice because you don't know what you have in John Wall right now.
But you know
Right.
what you have in Russ.
Right.
Right.
So roll the dice for
That's
something.
why I say roll it. Yeah.
Because he dishes the rock out. He doesn't turn over the ball like that. He has a better three-point shot. I'm not saying it's lights out. That is not what I'm saying. But it's a better three-point shot. I don't know how well his competitive fire is. That's the only thing that would kind of scare me a little bit.
Well, you get him on a team in a shot where he really has a chance to win. Maybe it comes out.
Changes the culture.
love that.
Or being
Yeah.
a part of the culture. And I got you.
Yep.
So you want to see that?
I would see it. Yeah, I would.
What's the downside, right?
Lakers, none. I
Yeah.
don't think at this
And the
point
Rockets,
you're
none.
two. You're what are they? 2 or 3 games below 500 right now.
Yeah, and as long as they play him, it's actually great for Russ. Your ball's going to be in your hand.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
And you can distribute.
Yep.
You know, do your little wild man stuff, get them all going. You'll sell tickets because it isn't like you guys are winning games, so you'll sell tickets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. Evidently, LA has said that they have absolutely no interest in involving their first round 27th overall pick or whatever the hell it is, whatever the hell it would be. But that first round pick is off the table. It is a Russ for a player or Russ for a pick.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Broncos former defensive coordinator Ed Donatrell is favored to become the Vikings' next defensive coordinator.
All right, I'll take that.
That
Yeah.
defense is balled out, right?
Yep.
Next best thing to getting Vic instead.
Instead of Vic, yeah.
Instead of Vic?
Besides Vic, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, y'all need to kind of revamp that defense and something else to help that offense out.
Agreed, man.
And halfway done. A weird law for you this evening.
You want to do weird law and then Rio's randoms?
Yeah.
Break it up?
Yep, break
Let's
it up
go.
a little bit. So the weird law of the evening would be men cannot wear strapless gowns in Florida.
I'm going to have to leave those at home next time I head that way.
Despite what you may what may take place in South Beach's world-renowned drag clubs, it is actually illegal for a man to wear a strapless gown in Florida. However, the law does not say they cannot wear dresses with spaghetti straps, cap sleeves, or long sleeves.
Okay.
Cap sleeves, isn't that the same thing? Kind of?
I don't know.
Kind of like
That's kind of weird.
aren't all chaps assless?
Yeah, dude, that was kind of mind blowing the first time we actually. I'm like, hold on a
out
second.
there wearing assless chaps. We were talking about wearing chaps, and then we're like, hold on, aren't all chaps assless?
We got to do that playing golf this year, right?
Assless
Everybody
chaps?
Yeah, chaps for sure. Yep.
It still sounds better when we say assless chaps, though. I think that's the reason why it kind of
emphasizes
It emphasizes the
bidet-
fact
bidet.
that I think you're trying to say that you're not when you're wearing chaps, you have nothing else on underneath the chaps.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, hanging dang,
Well, no, because
Hanging
your
dang, hanging
your
bang,
dang
so-
may be covered up.
maybe, but definitely not the butt cheeks.
Correct.
Clapping. Yeah, that's what I had.
Clapping.
Rio, hit us.
Clapping.
Rio's randoms, baby.
Rio's randoms
Brought to you by
Bose Power Washing out of Belmont, Iowa. Hit him up for all your power washing and cleaning needs. He'll plow snow, anything like that, clean your gutters. He does it all.
Mow, trim, do the works.
everything. We're getting to the point here in, I don't know, a month and a half. We're going to be at springtime. You're going to want to clean shit up. Get the gutters cleaned out, all that.
You're
gotta
not
hit
going to
this
want
guy
to.
out.
That's why you call this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
That's
you're going to
exactly
want
what-
to, but not want to do it yourself, right?
Exactly.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's
Yeah.
why
You're
you
gonna
hit
want
him
it
up.
done.
Yeah.
Yes, you're
This
gonna
is
want
your
it.
guy.
He's the man.
This is your guy.
Let's
One hell of
go.
a nice guy too.
All right, fellas. My first one for the night. If you had to get rid of 1 month in the year, which would it be?
Fucking, probably February.
No. I would ask for the football season to get moved back, and then January.
Okay. Why?
I want the
why do
football
you think
season to be
that?
moved because it's like the dog dead days of shit. There's no holidays in between that gap after New Year's. It's usually when it gets the most brittly cold.
February is the coldest, bro. For sure.
Well, yeah, this year, but I'm just saying in general.
Okay.
I
January.
think I
Same ballpark, though.
we're like right there. It depends tick for tack. Now, if we can move the football back, if you can't, then I would have to lean towards.
Keeping it all.
I would have to almost keep it all, right?
Yeah. You'd have to.
You'd have to.
If
If
football
I
couldn't
can't get
get
rid of those,
moved.
if football could not get moved back, I'd have to. It'd get moved back. Football, stop it.
Whatever. It's hypothetical. What
No.
month are you getting rid
Why?
of?
No, you need to take this shit serious.
All right, Rio. January,
Why do you
February, bro.
No, mine's neither of those.
Okay. Where you at?
June.
Why?
Fuck off.
Oh yeah, go
What?
fuck yourself.
June.
Get the fuck
Get-
off. This is
The
sad.
June,
best-
get out of here.
Get out
The
of here.
best month of the year.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Are you kidding me? No,
No.
June is fucking horrible.
Why?
You go May, right? Nice outside. You go right into July 4th. You kick it off, being American as fuck, drinking beer, eating hot dogs.
June,
I don't give a shit.
June, I love the way it builds up to it. I'm
Th-
okay with that.
Yeah.
Then you start
That's a
heading
horrible
on
answer.
August right into football, right?
That's a horrible answer.
So you go 4th of July, August. Here comes football, spring training.
You're not going to sell me on
What
this.
the
4th
hell?
of July is the beginning of July, though.
Yeah.
So it's a whole nother month.
So
still.
you're trying to
Ish,
wipe out.
ish.
He's trying to wipe
Not
out
quite a
one
full
of
month,
your.
though.
He in this. It's that, especially in the state of Iowa. He's trying to wipe out one of your warm summer months.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Get
I don't
bent.
give a fuck about Iowa. So first off,
Anywhere. It don't matter.
Yeah, what's it, 120
Anywhere.
in Texas at that time?
No, not even 120.
that's
I
true.
guarantee it gets hotter
See,
in
and
July
that-
and August.
that's what I'm saying. Get rid of one of the hot ones, right?
No, sir.
I'm still rocking with it.
That's a horrible answer,
June.
ladies and gentlemen.
What? Okay,
So that's
get
how
out
we
of here.
start this one off.
That's-
Go ahead with your
that's
next
tough.
one.
Fuck out of here.
That's a
Hold
horrible
on.
answer.
Actually, give us an answer.
I said January. I said
Okay.
January.
All right.
January, February, and fucking June. First of all,
You said
real.
February? Why February?
Because February, in my opinion, is the coldest month of the year, period, for Iowa. So if we can get rid of that and bounce right into March when we're almost in spring.
So let me get this
let's
straight.
go.
We just went over all this stuff, and you're going to get rid of the month that is Black History Month.
God, when I
Wow.
said it, I was looking at you, waiting you for
hate
I'm
on
going to
me.
call it out.
Hate on that guy.
I'm going to call it out now.
Yeah, listen, here's why. Here's
Oh,
why.
wait.
February is the shortest month of the year.
God
Okay,
damn
so
it.
They
give
don't
them a new
deserve
month.
that shit.
So
Give
give
them
them a new
March.
month.
Give them March. What's
Give
up?
them a new month. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck.
Give them a
Okay.
full month of days.
You know
Fucking
what
28 days. Get the fuck out
Hey,
of here.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, I agree with you now. Okay.
You know what?
That is not what you were thinking, though, you son of a bitch. And what I mean by that, you weren't even thinking about it when you
I'm
said
just
it.
thinking about weather.
No.
But if
Yeah.
that's considered, give them March.
Now, ugh.
Well,
now,
we moved
now
the
that you got me fucking
moved,
going
we
on that,
moved, we moved the
I just
football
got rid
season.
of Juneteenth, so my bad.
Yeah, way to go, dickbag.
What the fuck?
So,
Here we go. Right
Damn
here.
it, dude.
Yeah, well, there you go. All over him. All right. If you could, what mandatory rule would you make for a sport?
ooh, fighting.
And what?
I like that. Keep going.
Yeah, expand.
Let it go. So it doesn't matter what the sport is. Let it go. If it gets heated, let them chirp, let them chip, let them. If it turns into that, let it go for a little
Okay,
while.
you have to pick a sport. So obviously hockey
didn't
already
say-
has it.
You didn't say
Yes,
that
I said what rule would you make for a sport? A mandatory
for a sport.
a sport. Yes, so singular one.
Oh, sport. Okay. All right.
So keep going fighting, though. I like where
Yeah,
you're
I do.
going.
I do like where you're going.
Yeah.
Hockey's already got it. So what?
Hockey's
Where
already
would you
got
add it?
God, that'd be a toss up. Basketball or football. So football,
Yeah.
if you want a direct
Go
answer.
basketball.
I would say basketball, dude. I'm telling you, I'm one of the biggest fans of NBA playoff basketball. 4 to 7 games of two teams playing against each other every other night.
Yes.
It gets warm. It gets heated. Shit starts getting banging against each other, beating on each other.
Starting to
And they let
sound like your porn history.
Yeah, you don't worry about what I got going on in that porn history, baby.
Pornhub.com.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Sponsored by. Sponsored by. Dude, I'd rock it. I don't even care. Red tube the shit out of it. Let's go. They shouldn't be telling anyone else. Some of these kids that may not know where this shit is. Oh my god.
What? It's 2022, dude.
Dude.
They know.
So we're going on a sidetrack
they know
with this
that
right
shit.
now. You know how much that pisses me off? You know how hard it was for us to get porn
Dude.
back in our days?
Hell yeah, dude. That shit was buffering.
We
You're
had
just
to-
like,
Well, no, not even
No,
just that.
not even that. First of all, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're a baby.
Yeah.
We had to walk into a Holiday gas station and try to sneak some pornos
What?
from behind
Yeah.
the fucking thing.
Okay.
It was magazine
I do
style,
remember that.
bro.
Magazine
Yeah,
style.
we didn't even have a phone
Well, first
or
off, you
internet.
weren't supposed to be over in that area, so you're trying to
Yeah.
do this quickly and see if there's
Behind-
any free demo discs in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Hell
that's the
yeah,
one you're trying
yeah.
to get. These kids now, they don't even have to, like, you go and click on it, you don't even have to say you're 18 anymore.
Nope.
yeah.
I at least got
hold
butt.
on.
So it would take 10 minutes back in my old school dial up on my mom's, which takes
Yeah.
like 10 minutes for everything to load, and then
Right.
I click, yes, I'm 18,
How dumb
and then
are
it goes,
those? How fucking dumb are those? Like,
So
are you 18? Fuck. Can't get in here. I'm not 18. Shit. No. What are they going to do? Fucking hit. Yes,
I really
am.
wonder how many people say "fuck" like.
Fuck, they got me.
Damn it.
They
Shit.
got me.
I gotta go to my room by
They're
myself.
Shut it
watching. Shut her down.
Shut her down. No, you fucking hit the button. Yes, I'm 18. Dang it. Show me some. Yeah.
Shit is.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
Danny.
so. Where you
No,
going?
that's good. Damn, you
Your
went
roll.
on a tangent. I'm actually so. I have two ideas. If I went with my. You talked about the NFL. What was your actual solution though? Give me that because you talked NBA and NFL, so I don't know what you went with.
I'll go NBA. That's fine. Yep.
like that.
And let them do their thing, especially in the playoffs. Yep.
Okay, is yours NFL?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go UFC then or MMA. Okay, if you're at the end of the fight, if it's like point, if it's a split decision, they need to keep going until there's a unanimous decision. Is
Oh,
what I'm
hell
gonna
yeah.
say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I
Yeah,
love it.
I would love that. I think everybody would love that.
I say they just go slap boxing at that point. You ever seen that? Some of the big
Pillow fighting?
bastards?
Have you seen that pillow fighting
Hey,
out there?
I know somebody
Dude,
that's done it.
Shut up.
I know somebody.
Do you?
Yes, this girl that wrestled at Waldorf with me.
Well, first off, why don't we have her
Claire
on?
Lawson.
We need to talk about this.
shout out Claire.
Yes. Shout out Claire. Let's go.
I just saw that, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
What do you got?
I'm thinking taunting in the NFL, like just straight up making fun of the other team. It is all allowed and encouraged. Celebrating, I don't care. Do it.
You may even get an extra point if you had the best
if
insult.
if you have the best one. Heck yeah. Dude.
Yeah. Okay. I'm down with it.
Encouraged.
Two things.
Get it.
One, I don't know how MLB wasn't talked about getting rid of steroids. That needs to be a big one, right?
Get steroids back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or get rid of
Mandatory.
steroid testing.
No, yeah.
You know? But two, when you talked about the NFL, I was thinking of the Buffalo and Kansas City game. If that kind of shit went to like 5 games instead of 1, there's a totally different outcome, possibly in a lot of those cases. So I thought that's where you were going with that. So I'm bouncing back and forth.
There's so many good ones, but I want to see them. This is a game. Every game that they play, every pro sport that you're talking about is a game, right? But highly competitive people in it.
You're right. Every pro sport is a game.
Well, you understand what I'm saying. It isn't just like we're sitting there trying to tell our kids to be good sports. What I'm saying is you're playing at the highest level with and usually with the highest competitive people in the world, right? I mean, we're competitive as shit just right here. Imagine being out there. And now you start getting chippy. You can't, and the big physical men can't take care of their own thing, or even women if they're in their games. You know what I'm saying? Like, let them do their thing. You know, if you gotta assess a penalty or something like that, kind of like what hockey does, you're out for 2 minutes or whatever the scenario. But you're told to keep your emotions in check in a highly emotional situation, and that is damn near impossible to do unless you're Keanu motherfucking Reeves.
Yes, correct.
And only if that doesn't have something to do with his dog.
That's true. Don't touch the motherfucker.
Don't touch your dog.
Touch his dog.
So
His dong or his dog? What are you saying?
I can give you a solution to this dog situation.
All right. What is a pet peeve that you'd make illegal if you could?
I got a few.
Go ahead. Throw your best one out there.
I'll let
ahead.
Danny go first. I keep answering first. Go ahead.
It's because we want to hear the dumbest one first.
No, you want to hear educated first, so you can try to match it.
Damn, that's tough. There's a lot of pet peeves, man.
Mm-hmm.
What are we thinking? God, you have a wide net there, Rio.
Yeah.
Like anything in life,
Anything in life.
and you want to get rid of because of your pet peeve, or you want to get rid of the pet peeve?
You make it illegal. Yeah, because you want to get rid of it.
Going the speed limit, exactly.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
So then why don't we just change the law to the speed limit then? Or there's no speed limit.
I was gonna say, first of all, Jimmer.
I do like that though. The recommendation is 55, but you motherfucker better be going 60.
You better be going 64,
Yes.
right? Like, especially, this is where I'm going to bring up my idea, okay? Between Garner and Mason City, there needs to be a fucking huge overpass that bypasses Clear Lake because that's dog shit.
Yes.
You get caught at every single red light.
Every single red
You
light.
get caught behind
No,
everybody
no.
going
No, no, no.
35.
You get, if you
And they
really
added a
have to
stoplight.
go anywhere,
Yes,
if you have to go anywhere, that's when you get stopped by the red light.
yes, that's
Yes.
exactly right.
Yes.
If you
you're
don't have to
right.
go, if you don't have time limit,
Yep.
fucking you'll fly right through green lights. You won't
We'll
hit
com-
the brakes.
we'll
And you get your
combo-
hopes up. You're like,
We'll
oh,
combo
this is
that
not
up
bad.
with like everyone that drives down that road, especially if they're not in any type of urgency or at least going the speed limit, they must think they're driving exactly right by the lake because they're going 10 miles under the speed limit on top of reaching every single one of these
Right.
lights, right?
Like,
And
yeah.
like, dude, you want that little joyous cruise? Go 3 blocks that way, and there's the fucking lake, and drive
Yeah.
as slow as you want and look at it.
Speed the fuck up.
Speed the fuck up. This is a highway.
You want me? You make me want to like fucking pull off to the side, race ahead of you, and then T-bone you at the next fucking intersection, so you don't have to slow up traffic ever again.
Right,
Yep.
ever.
The problem is
With
they
all due
don't just go
respect.
slow. Then when you want to pass them, they speed up. That's worse, right? So it's like there's no fucking in between. It's like, come on, let's be real here. You were going 50. Okay, I'm trying to go 64.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You know that does. You know what does? Speaking of that, not a pet peeve, but something that kind of was like, I hate when I'm like already speeding and then people want to pass me.
Yes.
Like, bitch, I'm doing like 9 over, and
Yeah.
you fucking want to like speed
Or-
ahead of me and then slow down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then
I just passed you.
Because
and
I'm
now
not
you're
going
fast.
9
Yeah.
and a
It's
half
like,
over.
dude, I'm about to clip the rear end of your
Because
car.
I'm not going like
And
9
spin
and a
you
half.
out. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Like, yeah, eat
No,
a fat
that
dick.
shit's crazy. My kids get pissed at this point.
Yeah.
My 5-year-old, my 3-year-old, like, what are they doing? I'm like, I don't know.
Let's just talk about if you want to talk about that, the Garner to Clear Lake, little more of that transit right there between Garner and Ventura, or Clear Lake to Ventura. We're all going 55 miles motherfucking an hour, right? On the nuts.
Yep.
Can't pass because there's like 3 of them doing that bullshit, and then that's steady traffic coming this way, right?
Pass on the other side, Jimmy.
It will happen. So, but then all of a sudden we get to where it splits off at Ventura to a 2-lane fucking highway, and then they crank it up at least 10 miles an hour. So you have to go like 67 plus
Dude,
to pass them.
I had a guy do that to me one time. So I went to go. He's I think I was gonna go look at maybe a lawnmower. I can't remember what it was now, but it was like an hour and a half wait. Pull up behind this truck. They're going kind of slow, right? Almost like speed limit. So I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to wait to pass over. Wait till it's clear, right? I get an open lane. I go to pass. This dude, like, looks over and speeds up as I'm trying to pass him. Like, speeds up. And, like, I'm literally in the other lane and he's speeding up to go with me.
Yep.
Yeah.
First of all, that happened to you once. Every time I drive through there,
No,
that
they were doing it on purpose.
Oh
to
my
me.
God, that drives me nuts because people won't look at you either, and they're like, "This is just what I'm doing."
Yeah. No. Well, it was worse because he looked over at me.
Yeah,
And
that
then
makes
was
it
just
worse.
like, step on the gas. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Fucking asshole, Jimmy. What do you got?
So I was going to go a different route, but I think it was even way too more broad, even than what we were trying to say right here. So I'm going to go with it's illegal for people not to use common sense. It drives me nuts when people don't use common fucking sense. Believe it or not,
Well, every year you say the Vikings are going to the Super Bowl.
that's like fandom or thinking fantasy shit. I get that, but what I'm getting at is
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
when you sit here and you deal with people on a regular basis, especially where we work, I'm like, common sense will take you so much further, people, than being the most highly fucking educated person in the world. I'm telling you, it will get more than get you by. It's more than survival. It will get you to the next fucking level. When you don't have it, you know when you're talking to someone stupid.
Somebody hurt you, didn't they?
I'm just so sick and tired of common sense.
So your pet peeve is you have to use common sense.
My pet peeve is that it's people not using common sense. So to
That's
make
what
it
I'm saying.
illegal for you, yeah.
Yeah.
To be dumb.
So I told you about the fucking ice top,
Yeah.
-4 fucking degrees.
Yep.
Why should someone have to say something about that, about it being common sense not safe? Is that not common sense?
Yeah. 100%. Yep.
Okay. So that shit like that drives me nuts.
Okay. All right.
What do you got?
Highly heated over there. I could see your blood pressure rise.
Nah,
It wasn't as bad as when he was talking to Malachi that night. That night he was fucking fired up, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck him.
But
All
he
right.
got up there.
I will have to go with, if you're at the gym, you don't have to get butt ass fucking naked in front of everybody. Keep your damn clothes on, or at least underwear. You don't have to strip down naked, right? You get out of the shower. You don't have to walk all the way and just hang out with your dang out, just showing it off, right?
What gym are you going to?
Have you ever been to the YMCA?
Okay. Here we go.
I'm trying. I woke up a Christian that morning. Right. I'm over there. I'm trying to use a sauna, hang out and do my thing. Like I said, just had read my Bible the night before. This dude, like, and multiple of them.
John
weird.
3:16.
John 3:16. I don't know. Hanging brain, just all over the place. Talking, chatting. You seen Chips when they're at the locker and they're just like hugging and it shows
Just
like
bumping.
the crotch is bumping. Not quite like that, but like just
But
straight
fuck, it's
out.
pretty close.
They're just chatting like, "Hey man, what's it going on?" Like, dude, put that thing away. Nobody wants to see that, especially not me, dude. And then the old man like, "Why are you hard right now? What the fuck?"
You know why he's like, fuck, I gotta get home now. It has been hard forever.
First of all, he's not hard. Okay, you're just offended.
Oh, okay.
But I do remember that at the YMCA, specifically in Mason City.
Yes.
It didn't matter. I was fucking, 17 going there playing fucking noon ball right? I'd go in, change my shorts, and there'd be these old guys fucking just straight up naked. They'd be with the hand dryers turned up so they could put their balls over the top and dry their ball throw and
Okay,
stuff.
in their defense,
It
that's
didn't
actually
matter.
genius as fuck.
It is smart as hell, but I don't need that. I don't need that in my life, especially at that point.
Got a
Come on.
luscious V of hair going from my chest pubes
To
down
my
to my
ball
ball
fro.
fro.
Gosh, damn,
Yeah.
man. Get a perm. All right. And that's what I got for tonight.
All right. Since I lost track of your questions, I thought we only did 2. I'm pretty sure.
Well,
we
you're
did.
not smart, so.
Nah, that's true.
Mason City High School. What?
Mason City High School, baby. And then I also got duped with my current career, so there's that. Stick around long enough.
Jesus.
Any other words you'd like to say about your
No,
wonderful
dude,
place of
it
employment?
may be. Fuck, don't even get me started. God damn
Actually,
it.
I do kind of want to. So, Jimmer.
No, I'm all right. So, on with it. Canelo Alvarez close to a 2-fight deal with Matchroom Boxing to face Dimitri Bivol and the trilogy fight with Triple G.
How much money would it take you to sign on the dot to let him knock you out?
$1 million is a nice solid number.
Just get nice round.
But just
solid.
nice round solid number. I
Okay.
mean, $1 million. It isn't
Yeah.
like you're saying
What if they're like, hey, for 100,000 you can get fucking knocked out by him?
Dude, that's nice. Dude, tax free. I'm taking home
yeah,
100,000.
okay, yeah, sure. Let's go.
I'm
tax
Doesn't
it.
matter. Doesn't matter,
Yeah.
right? Like,
No, it does matter. If they're taking 30 fucking % of that,
Yeah.
and then we're down to, 70,000. No,
You're not taking 70,000 for that? You're still saying no?
I'm taking it
Joe,
all
fucking
day.
old Jimmer
All
over
day.
there.
all day,
day.
70 grand.
I would take it taxed too, but obviously you're shooting for a high number. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, the easy answer to that would be $1 million. But like if they said, "Hey, no, seriously, we have 100,000. That's all we got."
Done.
yeah, done.
Okay.
Where's the paper?
Yeah, because they're gonna find somebody that's gonna do
Yeah.
it for that 100, and I don't want them to have that. So I want that 100K.
Yep.
That's true.
All right, you guys sold me, even if it's taxed.
Yeah.
70,000
Hell yeah.
pays off some stuff.
That's right.
Excited to see the Triple G part.
That should be good.
Yep. NFL says league, not Washington Commanders, will oversee investigation into Dan Schneider allegations. So they're still doing their own private investigation of their own, but the NFL has made it clear, probably because of everything that's going on right now, that we are doing our own investigation into it too, and we'll be going over it and making them public.
What is
Well, making
the
what they want
investigation?
public.
Well, you know that, yeah.
What's the investigation, Jimmer?
I don't know, all of the sexual stuff.
Sexual stuff. That's
Yep.
that's where I'm going.
All of the
I
stuff
don't know
in
if
general.
everybody knows.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sexual is the most recent one.
Harassment. I think
Right.
Sexual harassment.
Yeah.
Touch the doll where they touch to you.
It's all kinds of...
Mhm.
Dude, the Commanders are in a rough spot.
Hey,
So,
Not great. He should be forced to sell. But
yeah, we've talked about this, right?
Yep.
Is this it?
hopefully.
They finally find, maybe they pull the right emails.
He has to know something, though, against
Right.
these people.
or,
otherwise
he-
they
or,
might
he-
have already...
or what he's done is tied in with some higher ups that
Yeah.
like you can't omit Roger Goodell or whoever the hell.
Or whatever,
Or-
or
yeah.
even politicians. or
Yes,
something.
exactly.
It
Yep.
could be something like that, yeah.
It has to be.
It has to be, because why wouldn't you? It's nothing but a black eye. You have a very big fan favorite. You have a very strong fan base of the Commanders. God, this would be so weird to say.
Washington. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Washington.
Yeah.
They have a very thick fan base, right? You have a dumpy ass stadium that's literally falling apart around you.
Yep.
You're a laughing stock in the sense that everything that you are doing is nasty, bad, whatever. You're making every wrong decision you possibly could inside, for the most part. I mean, they're trying to clean it up, but you're just trying to save face way too late in the game here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I don't know why they just wouldn't either. They should have done it a long time ago, I believe, and I don't understand why. And the only reason I can come up with is he has either somebody or some people in his back pocket, or he has something on people, and including or possibly politicians.
Yeah, that has to be.
Let's say he does. If you're Goodell or the NFL, you're hoping for the right reason to get rid of his ass, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're
but
hoping for it.
You would have to discredit him first, though,
That's-
if he
that's
has
what I'm
anything
saying.
on you.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yep.
saying. So you have to discredit him. Sexual harassment is a pretty fine line when it comes to things. I mean, they didn't do anything with those cheerleaders when they transported them to the island. So it's like, if you find the right thing, they have to pounce because they have to get rid of him. If what you're saying could be true, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm not seeing anything that says that most of the stuff isn't true, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're basically guilty, brother.
Would it be good for the NFL if they did get rid of him and found a new owner?
Yes. Yes.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thoughtful response by Rio.
No. I don't know if it like.
You just
mean,
want
maybe
Washington to be bad.
No.
Be bad for
I
the
think
Cowboys.
I'm just not. It depends on how deep his ties are into the upper level. Because normally an owner, it's not really gonna. Who cares, right? What an owner has. Now there are some influential ones like Jerry Jones because he owns all this property and stuff like that. But that's the only thing is he's got to be tied to somebody way higher up. So in that sense, then yes, he's not holding anything over you or some of your higher up people.
But what he's saying is, wouldn't it be good for the NFL? Not necessarily.
No, people keep buying the tickets. The stadium fills up. It doesn't.
I think it'd be way better for the NFL, and it'd be a lot better looking for the NFL.
Right, but all this stuff has come out, allegedly. People still buy tickets. Ain't nobody not, boycotting the NFL.
Actually, did you see some of the stadiums, the last few games of their home? They weren't selling out, brother.
Yeah, and you're not totally wrong. So I'm not disagreeing
They're
with you
doing
there.
just fine.
What I'm saying is the NFL in general, would it be better or worse if Schneider is the owner of Washington?
Probably better if he wasn't there because then you would get all
that's where we're going.
public. But like I said, they're not hurting by any means, even with all this stuff coming out
yet. But what they could do, especially if you have there's maybe a few other billionaires, maybe MJ wants to dip in there.
Yeah,
it could a lot of things that could help in a positive way, and people that are more get along with the general public a hell of a lot more too. That. It would still be better for the NFL. I'm not saying it's going to. It isn't. I'm not saying it'd be for ticket. I'm not saying image-wise. I'm not talking about like ticket sales necessarily.
Image-wise, it would be.
Maybe it is. I mean, I haven't seen their attendance records.
Yeah.
So, what they could get versus.
Yeah.
But they have a very loyal fan base also. So.
They do, but they could get more, right?
Yeah.
So.
The Blazers have agreed to send C.J. McCollum, Larry Nance Jr., and Tony Snell to the Pelicans. The Pelicans are sending Josh Hart, Thomas Satoransky, Nikolai Alexander Walker, and Didi Lozada, a future first-round pick, and 2 future second-round picks to the Blazers. So C.J. McCollum is no longer with the Blazers, and long story short.
Yeah, blew my mind. Why? This team, you didn't get any immediate help. Didn't seem like for Portland if you're trying to make a run. Into the playoff spot. Pelicans, obviously, you're not there. Yeah, maybe you'll sneak in. I don't know, but it just didn't make sense.
I feel bad for Dame.
Yeah.
Dame. He's trying to be loyal, and they're fucking
exactly
him, right?
Yeah.
I think. Well, I borderline disagree with you with that part. I feel bad for Dame because he's already sent his. I don't know if you've seen that, his emotional farewell to CJ.
To CJ, I did. Yeah.
They're boys. Dame was in the league only 1 year.
They grew up
more
together,
than
yeah.
CJ, and they came up together, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they became one hell of a dynamic duo. Just not enough to do any real damage in the playoffs. I mean, yes, they had an exciting series or two, and they won one off of who I can't remember who the hell the Rockets maybe. Is that who it was? That big time Lillard
shot. Yeah.
Shot.
Rockets or Denver? Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, I can't remember
one of them. I think they're trying to show him that we're willing to try anything to try to surround you with something. I'm not talking about those players, but you have to remember, future first-round pick and 2 future second-round picks also. They're trying to show that they're doing something, I guess. I'm not saying it's correct. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I think they're trying to say, hey, we're trying to do something. We're trying to spark something because this obviously isn't working, the current format we have surrounding around you. And our most valuable piece, I don't know if they could have maybe they could have gotten a little more for CJ.
Yeah.
Somewhere else, you would think. I mean, the future first-round pick, I guess, but...
Right. No, you show him by getting a James Harden, a Ben Simmons,
Yes.
Halliburton, and
Yeah.
whatever
I'm with
the
you there.
King shot out. Like, this is not showing...
No,
your future, but...
No, I'm saying I'm saying they're trying, but I don't agree this was the move.
Yeah.
If it was me, I'm like, nah, this is still CJ at the end of the day. At bare minimum, these guys are still boys, so...
Yeah.
We'll ride another year, and then I'll find somebody else with a better deal than that. Because somebody would. You would think that someone other than the Pelicans could use the services of C.J. McCollum. Like, I don't know, the Lakers?
Yeah, they need a shooter.
You know?
He's McCollum. Who can I compare him to? Kyle Kuzma, maybe.
No.
He's better. He's better.
He's better.
But I'm saying like that style, like that. He's a at best number 2, right? Whereas
I'd say probably Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal.
Yep.
When he's healthy.
He can shoot.
I don't know. Brad Beal's so good, man.
He is.
No, he wasn't. When he was by himself, no. So he needs that other person.
I don't think
For
CJ
winning
could
purposes.
do.
So winning purposes,
winning
yes.
purposes.
Winning
He can
purposes,
stuff the
yes.
stat
I could get
board.
behind that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But just as good a shooter, I think.
That's fair, then,
If
yeah.
he's got another partner, he's doing just great. Like he was doing good when Kuzma went to the Wizards, right?
Yep.
He was doing just fine. By himself, he was a stat stuffer,
Yep. That's fair.
And when John Wall was playing, he was doing okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I would compare it to. He might be a little bit better 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I just don't. For Dame, I don't like it.
I don't like it
Right?
at all.
Like that's
Not-
that's
This
the biggest
shows
thing.
you're bound out this year. You're not making a push.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, here's a future next year. Our first round draft pick and
I
stuff.
think he's already went by him, and I think he's going to only continue to get way better. But I think the perfect example for me would have been Chris Middleton before last year's championship. I'm talking about their play style, the secondary. You don't know if Chris Middleton was ever going to take that leap into a legit number 2. I think he's a legit number 2 now. I don't think he was really before last year. Maybe the year before he started kind of cusping to it.
Yeah.
That's a player I'm thinking of. Like, I'm not talking about size, anything like that. I'm just talking about you actually stack them up. You don't know if they're a legit number 2. They play on a team where they're the number 2.
Yeah.
And they both
That's not bad.
and they both can shoot threes also. So
That's not bad. Yeah.
that's the one I kind of thought of. But like I just said though, Chris Middleton is better than him now.
Yes.
So
Agreed. But so let's think of the other aspect of this. New Orleans, right? Does it say much for Zion? Does it help him? Say, hey, let's get back.
No,
Let's do
I
something.
don't think so.
I don't think so
No.
either, right?
in fact, you just gave away a first round pick and 2 futures. So you kind of showing that you were. So are you sold on McCollum as that guy? Maybe, I guess. I don't know. I'm saying
I like CJ.
I
but
like him,
don't-
but I'm like, but like we just said, he'd be a legit number 3.
Yeah.
A legit number 3.
Yeah.
We used to talk about this back in the day when the Cavaliers, LeBron, and with their number 2 who made it into the All-Star game
Yeah.
because of Nelson of the Orlando Magic went out of the game because of injury
Yep.
before the game. Was
God damn it. His name's like
I just had it
on
too.
the tip of my tongue.
I just had it. He wore the
Joe,
little guy. He's a shooter, but at the end of the and I
talking about Boogie?
no, not Boogie. He's like they're not. He was.
You're thinking little guy, but I'm thinking of was he the point guard?
Yes.
Yeah. God damn it.
So before the name gets back to us, he would have made a way. So they made him the 2. He was LeBron's 2. That is not the player he is. That player. When we'll come up with the name here in a second. That player would have been a perfect number 3. A perfect number 3 or a dude literally leading your bench squad. And that's what a 3 is. A 3 is either someone that is legitimately your 3 or can run your 3 or run your bench squad, right? I think that's where CJ is, in my opinion. I think CJ's that legit.
A solid Jason Terry.
There you go. Yeah. You don't want Jason Terry to be
pretty
your
fair.
second best player, right?
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Yep.
But just come off the bench. You can shoot threes. You can direct the offense if you need him to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It bring a spark to the team
Yep.
too, right?
Yep.
Can get on fire and do something stupid to help elevate the game for you
Mhm.
too.
Okay.
Yep. Did you come up with the name yet? Because I had the name before.
I
I
know.
shouldn't have kept going.
It's
I
pissed
had
me
the name.
off. Larry Hughes, is that what you're
No,
talking about?
no.
Gibson, Gooden. No, that's not the one.
He was an all-star. I know that.
No, it was back then though, right? We're talking like 2007.
No. So just before he went, maybe go 2008, 2009. Is before he left.
God damn it! What was his name? It's not listed here.
2009
It's pissing me off.
Cavs. point guard. Mo Williams.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
So it was Mo Williams and then Delonte, which is also a different funny story. But Mo Williams was maybe a 3.
Yep.
It would have been a solid 3 or a perfect bench mob. As in the guy coming off first and being your 6th man and just lighting it up, right? I think that's kind of what C.J. McCollum is.
Yeah, yeah. Again, no shade on CJ.
No,
But
I love,
totally
I
with
love,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
The Pacers are trading Domantas Sabonis, Jeremy Lamb, Justin Holiday, and a 2027 second-round pick to the Kings for Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, and Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, I didn't like this trade.
Neither did I.
Right off the bat.
I like Sabonis. I do.
Mm-hmm.
But the other two are what? They're bench mob.
Exactly.
They could maybe at their peak be a 6-man.
Yeah.
I know. I
But
mean,
I like Jeremy Lamb.
I know Halliburton
Buddy's
was
fine.
struggling this year, but
No, I'm not talking about Buddy. I'm talking about the other two.
Yeah, I know. I don't mind Buddy.
I think Buddy's a nice piece.
I think Buddy
Yeah.
is a nice piece. Halliburton was struggling. He is a nice piece. He's struggling this year, but
give him time to grow, right?
yeah. And then Tristan Thompson, he can be just fine down there in the paint. Yeah, I didn't like it at all when I saw it come across. And
No. For who? You don't like it? Good
either
for who?
side, I didn't really like it either
For
side. I said
Sacramento, especially.
I like it for the Pacers if you're
Yeah.
gonna be on the side on this one.
if you have to be, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I'd rather take those 3 guys. Absolutely.
Yep. Well, Sabonis, by the sounds of it, want to get traded, so you have to get something for him, right? We talk about that all the time. It opens up the door for Myles Turner to flip over to center, which he's jacked about.
Mhm.
I did
Yep.
read that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually a good trade for the Pacers. I think it's a horrible trade for the Kings,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
in my opinion. And we'll see how it all breaks out and everything. We don't know what Halliburton's going to end up. I think we kind of know what Buddy Hield is at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's still a solid starting shooting guard in this league, or at bare minimum, we keep the
Coming off the bench, yeah.
Yep, 6-man.
Yep.
And I think he gave up way too much for that. They get a 2nd-round pick out of that.
Yeah.
You couldn't.
Well,
even
we talked
squeeze a
about that
first.
the other day, right? Sacramento has a lot of talent, and it's like, how do they distribute the minutes? Maybe that's part of it. They're like trying to figure that out.
Get
I
that
don't
center
know.
to go down there, yeah.
Yeah.
Usually about contracts too, but Wizards guard Bradley
For sure.
Beal is planning to undergo season-ending surgery on his left wrist. Beal is a 3-time All-Star and will be eligible to sign a 5-year, $245 million contract with the Wizards this summer. He has a $36.4 million player option for next season. He was extremely distraught over this.
Yeah, that does suck. Kuzma comes in, playing decent.
Mm-hmm.
John Wall hadn't been healthy, and he kind of just shouldering the load for the past couple years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before he got traded away, and yeah, it's a shame for him. Hopefully, it just doesn't hurt any negotiations he has coming back,
Mhm.
and getting that contract.
He can get, I think the number was like $25 or $30 million more with them than any other team.
Yeah.
So I think he'll end up being back. I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
But
They showed some growth.
Yep.
Shows they're going in the right direction, I think.
they started the season so well.
They did.
Yeah.
A little bang up, though, and stuff kind of slips.
It happens.
So I'm gonna skip the next one because I think that's going to be a longer conversation.
Okay.
We'll come back to it. Former big leaguer Jeremy Giambi died at his parents' home today at the age of 47, his agent says. The family is asking for privacy, so there's no reason for the death up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
That was as of, I think news got broke at like 5:30 this evening.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Tough.
We know he liked to party back in the day. So
Yeah, he did.
NFL officials were informed Alvin Kamara was a suspect in a felony battery case by the Las Vegas Metro PD prior to the Pro Bowl, but cops and the league allowed the Saints star to still play in the game. Did they do that for anybody else?
So what they said was they're waiting on statements and from victims and stuff like that, witnesses as well, and that's why it took so long.
Not
Actually,
the one I read. The one I read, that got reported. A couple of the cops talked to TMZ Sports, and they said, no, they had it, and they made a mutual decision, the league and the police, to allow him to play. With his cooperation afterwards.
Okay, I guess the one I'd read was saying they knew he was a suspect, but they were still trying to gather the final statements and stuff before they did it.
I'm just curious where you've ever seen this, except for
if that happened to you.
Oh no!
What do you think? Are you playing in the game?
I've heard no. Have you? I may know a friend that was possibly getting arrested.
Is this yourself?
No.
Oh.
Okay. Not me. I'm just going to not say names.
Okay.
And the cop and the person asked if they could go inside and at least take a piss. Cops don't even let that person go in and take a piss. You let this man play a full 3-hour football game or more,
Mm-hmm.
Well, you already knew you're in the stadium waiting to arrest him.
Yeah.
And you let him. Come on. And this is what we talk about with the NFL, right? He's so. That's the reason why Roger Goodell shouldn't be there. He's so wishy-washy. He might not have been there for this particular call, but he's so wishy-washy. 1 minute it'll be, this is exactly what it is. Next minute, it'll be this. There's pictures of this dude whooping a chick. You get 3 games. There's a video of you whooping this chick. You get 6 games. Is it still not the same thing?
There's a video of you pulling out this girl's boob or whatever, grabbing her boob, whatever it was, and you get more games than some other players who beat the shit out of their spouse.
Yeah.
Come on.
So I don't like the inconsistencies of Goodell, and
Yeah.
this is what I'm getting at with this particular one too. So, but we'll get back to the possible big news one. It's going to probably happen at some point. The 76ers and the Nets are absolutely engaged in trade discussions about Ben Simmons and James Harden. Sources told ESPN's Brian Windhorst, there is definite motivation from both sides to make this fall into place. James Harden is reportedly pushing for this. He was missing his 4th game tonight with
held out.
Well, no. He said this is before all that. He said that because of his hamstring tightness.
Okay.
He's been sitting out because he's been displeased. The last game he played 37 minutes, scored 4 points. Almost like a statement.
Mm-hmm. They did hold him out just a day or so ago. And just what is held out. That's the only thing they come across. Held out of the game. So it's like, oh, okay. Maybe a trade's on the horizon, right?
It's going to happen.
Makes sense.
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Move him,
Which
get
good?
something.
Which good? So he should have went here in the first place. This is the GM that he likes, right? That's the one that came from the Rockets. Joel Embiid would actually have that. This is where our warm debate went. This would be perfect for Joel Embiid. This is the guy that could take all that heat off, can distribute the rock, can do the whole works for you. And but you could take it off of him as long as you're healthy. You can take it off of him, and he's getting something in return that he hasn't seen in a long time either.
Imagine that pick and roll.
Yeah, absolutely.
With Harden and him. Oh, my goodness.
And then Ben Simmons can finally move on. I don't know how well of a fit that would be up there. I mean, KD's kind of a wine bag too. So, maybe it worked.
Ben doesn't want to score. Shit, play defense.
He can't score.
Distribute.
Oh, yeah. Give it.
Doesn't want to, can't. Yeah, same thing for him.
Yeah,
for him,
kick to. I don't know if it's a very good fit for the Nets, though, ultimately. I mean, yes, on paper, yes, and he's a special talent, right?
They don't play defense. They need that.
It'd be tough. He hasn't played right this year. You come in middle of the season.
I bet you, he'd get banged up.
I was going to say, it's going to be probably a tough adjustment.
They already don't. I don't know if they already don't have enough offense as it is. They're already having a little bit of trouble, and they haven't had all these guys play at the same time for the most part. But now you just took one of your offensive scorers and shipped him over here for a guy that only can drive and kick because he has no other shot. And Kyrie's only there for 50% of the games, roughly, or less, depending on each other state's thing. And I don't know. Okay. I'm happy because we could finally move on from it, and we get to see James Harden. I hate watching James Harden in the foul game and all that bullshit. Me and you've talked about that many times.
Yeah, 100%.
But evidently, they have stopped doing that, calling that bullshit foul. And you can see Ben Simmons move on, and maybe he'll still be damn good, and maybe that team will maybe it'll mesh perfectly. I have no idea. I'm just talking about how I'm visualizing it, but I'm just glad to see it go.
Yeah.
Conclusion.
Hopefully.
Not the same player we were thinking originally, like about a month and a half ago. We were thinking Kyrie possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But
What do you think about Harden though? Isn't this kind of fucked up? Like, don't you start second guessing his talent if you're a GM or an owner? Like
his commitment,
yeah.
too? As soon as
He
stuff gets
whined and
rough,
I was going to
cried.
say his commitment if things don't go as planned.
Yeah, he whined and
for
cried to get to
sure.
the Nets. They finally got there. Now he's whining because nobody's playing with him because KD's hurt. Kyrie's there every other game. You know, now he's like, I'm going to have a statement game and drop 4 points, or whatever. Like,
and
I think you have to have that in the back of your mind, too.
Let's also not forget that he became a fat ass to get traded, too.
Very large.
And I can say that because I'm fat, so that's the reason why I'm allowed to say that. So my
No, you could just say that, okay?
Well, yeah, but he literally did that shit on purpose to get traded. That's the game he will play.
Yeah.
He does it. He took it to another level than what Ben Simmons was even doing.
He did.
You know?
Yep.
He's actually ready and willing to transform his body into a fat slob to get traded, get what he wants, right?
Yeah.
And it still didn't work out with your buddy up there.
Exactly.
Never did work out. That was every last 2 years NBA champion, preseason pick. No one can beat him. That never took over.
Yeah.
And it should have. The fat foot, I like to call of KD. You remember the thing where his shoe was like a size
Just
bigger,
over.
and it was just touching. But he always wears a shoe size bigger than what his foot actually is.
Yeah.
But touching the line. Because they should have won that. But and that's what I got, gentlemen.
Okay.
Boom. Who's got? It makes sense if you don't think about it.
Sounds like Jimmer does.
I got you.
Let's go, baby.
So, our buddy, friend of the show, and some of our popular segments, the Miley Show. Oh, Myles. So we're in the break room one day, and this is during his first set of employment when he's about 19 or 22, somewhere in that ballpark, right? And he starts talking about like an ex-girlfriend or something. And he was ragging on her. Yeah, she wasn't hot or anything like that, and this, that, and the other. And God, it just wasn't. And then Myles. Myles just brings up, well, I got naked pictures of her if you want to see. Well, you have everyone's attention in the room. Start showing them. See it, and he was 100% correct in the first place. Let's make that clear. He goes and passes his phone over to an older gentleman that is no longer works there now. He retired. One hell of a funny ass guy, Mr. Paulie O'Shea, right?
Yeah. Beat Jimmer in a shootout on the basketball court.
No, but either way, so he's like, he's like, what, Paul? You want to see? He's like, yeah, shit, why not? Hands him his phone. Paulie's like, hey, evidently, I didn't quite hear this part, but evidently he told Paulie not to scroll too far. There's multiple pictures. Don't scroll too far. So, okay. So he's scrolling on this phone. So, okay, yeah, yeah, not bad. Scrolling right here, and that's a penis. And Myles flips out. He was on the other side of the table by this point, but he flips out, reaches over, grabs it. He's like, I told you not to reach too far over. Paul's like, what?
Hold on. Back up.
Who had a dick? Did one of the
Hold
girls
on.
have a dick?
What was he like again? One more time. What was Myles like?
What the hell? I told you not to scroll too far. Yeah, they're just reaching over, like tearing everything apart, trying to get to his phone.
That's Jimmer's O sound.
That's
He goes, reaches over, and all of a sudden we're like, what the fuck, Myles? Like, what the hell do you have a picture of another dude's dong on your phone for? He's like, it's not, it's mine. Like, what? I'm like, you have a picture of your own dick on your phone. The dick that is attached to your body.
You know what he said? He's like, I was having a good dick day.
I was having a good dick day.
So I took a picture, seen it on my phone. That way I don't got to retake it. You know, it might not look as perky.
Yeah.
Bushes might not be trimmed the next time I want to send one, you know?
He's like,
He's having a good dick day.
he's having a good dick day. I'm
day.
like, dude, you took a picture, saved it on your phone, didn't hide it anywhere. Yeah, you're a single guy at the time, and you took a picture of something that is attached to your body. And you're flipping out because someone scrolled past that. You willingly gave them your phone to look at nude pictures anyways.
You gave it up, bro.
Makes sense if you don't think about it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not
Jesus.
handing that phone over. Like, hold on.
So, moral of the story.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom. Exactly what he just said right there. Why in the... If you're going to show something on your phone, I'm not saying what you should have on your phone, what you shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even doing that. But if you're going to, wouldn't you control the thing and be like, hey, look at that?
Yeah.
Why would you hand your phone
I'm starting to think, the more I've thought about this story, I'm starting to think that Myles swings both ways, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
He was just testing the waters to see how old Paulie would react. If he was like, hey,
Right.
man, that's a good-looking dong, he'd be like, hey, man, what's up? My house is free this weekend.
What it
What's
is.
good?
We can talk later. What's up?
Yeah. Just like, don't hand your phone over.
Right.
Segue to, I don't know, don't keep a picture of your own dong on when it's attached to your body. Like,
Put it
you take it
somewhere else.
anytime.
Put it somewhere else. Like, hide that shit. Yeah.
Well, if you're going to do it, you might as well just put it on the backdrop then at that point.
Yeah,
If you're
I
going
mean,
to hand your
it's like
phone over
that.
anyways to
Yeah.
anybody to look at.
Have you ever sent something that you weren't supposed to somebody, inappropriate?
Yes,
No.
for sure.
What?
No. So I've sent something to my wife, and I think I forgot to warn her, and she's opened it in front of people. I sent her something.
That would count, Jimmer.
Okay, no, I thought he was taking it as like sending it to the wrong person.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, I have.
No, I haven't
I
sent
haven't
something
sent it
to
to
the
the
wrong
wrong
person.
person.
I have. I sent some raunchy shit, and then like I backed out, and I go, holy fuck.
Oh shit, that was mom.
Love you.
Love you, Mom.
But I'm not going to eat that kitty cat later. I can tell you that.
Oh, that was meant for your wife.
that was meant for somebody else, and it got sent to the wrong person.
Oh shit.
Let's just say the conversation was real awkward.
like
They're like, was that for me? I'm like, it can be for whoever you want it to be.
right. It's like you said earlier. It's 2022. I'm not
Yeah.
shutting anything down right now.
So
That's right.
Yeah. No, so I had another one. Okay, if I want one in specifically, like, so she had this left on her phone on accident. So she goes in. We go to what's that shoe place right next to PetSmart in Mason?
Coles.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Oh,
Kohl's.
Famous
Not
Footwear.
Kohl's.
Famous Footwear.
Famous
Yeah.
Footwear.
Is it Famous Footwear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we go in there. We're getting shoes for, I don't know, the girls, maybe the boys. I don't know. We go up there. She has a coupon for buy one get one free, but it's a digital one. She goes.
No.
She opens it up, and she has her phone right here. She's like, "Oh yeah, it's right here." Opens it up. There's the old male member
No.
and the hairy boys. This
Oh my
lady, thank
God.
God, was still looking down at the
A
register.
wonderful
before
band for those of y'all that don't know.
Before she goes and pops her head up, she's like, "Oh shh!" My wife's like, "Oh shit!" Like what? I'm like, "You didn't delete that?" Like it was a good cocktail.
It was a good cocktail.
It was a good cocktail, man. Dude, that reminds me of when I changed my phones over. We have our group text or whatever, and I have Nelly named as Nelly Big Donger. Big, and so like the chat's just blowing up, and the lady like looks down, and the first name is of course Nelly Big Donger, and she just like looks back over at me, and I'm like, all right, it is what it
It
is.
is what it is, right? I'm like a fucking mule.
Oh, shit. At least
Dude,
I'm honest.
right? Dude
What?
passes out every time he gets a hard on. Just all the
So much blood.
Yeah. So much rushing from his head down to his.
There's no
Other
blood
head.
left in his body.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right, gentlemen.
I think that
Man.
about wraps it up.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day. All right. Well, hey, we appreciate each and every one of you out there. Be sure to hit us up. We got these beautiful caps in, leather patch going on with the 3 Gig Sports logo. Like I said earlier, we have a few different designs, and we'll be posting them on the socials here real soon. But other than that, make sure you hit us up on all of the different platforms that podcasts are available. Like what, Jimmer?
Facebook, or you want the platforms or the podcast where you listen?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
Apple,
Reddit,
Spotify.
Well, you just said the platforms. So.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So Facebook.
Jim is confused.
No, I know what we normally do. That's the reason why I
Listen,
clarified. You said a different word, so you're confused. I'm running with what you got.
I'm losing brain cells from listening to this guy.
So Facebook, Spotify, Apple.
Does he look as dumb as he sounds?
Yeah, absolutely. YouTube and anywhere else you can. Maybe not anywhere else you can think of, but we have
Most
quite a
of
few. Most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
Pornhub. We're everywhere.
That's
Yeah,
right.
3
Gigs After Dark. What's up? And we love talking shit, too. Hit us up on the socials. Get us on It Makes Sense if you don't think about it segment. We love it. We also have shirts, stickers, all the fun stuff with the different sayings, segments, all that. Hit us up if you want anything. But most importantly, if you have a story, fucking throw it in.
Hell yeah. It all goes down in the DMs,
That's
baby.
right, baby.
Shoot it over to us. We'll get it out to the people. They want to hear it. We want to hear it. It'll be a good time.
Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Don't talk about it, be about it. I love it. Well, hey, thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports.
We out!
Holy
shit.
shit.